Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we're going to take a look at a budget power supply for those building slightly more, well, less power hungry systems, let's say. This is the MSI MAG A650 BN. This is an 80 plus bronze unit with up to 85% efficiency. It's got a 120mm low noise sleeve bearing fan. Also comes in at relatively compact dimensions of 140 by 150 by 86 millimeters, so should fit into even the smallest of cases. It is sadly not a modular power supply, so all the cables are completely fixed, but in terms of its actual prowess, it's got active power factor correction. It's also got overcurrent protection, under voltage protection, over power protection, over temperature protection, and also for some novice builders, it comes with short circuit protection. Also, in my opinion, it actually looks like quite a pleasant unit. It's all black pretty much, and it's got some nice ventilation going on there, nice and open vents, and it has all black cabling, so no need for any of those horrible cable extensions. So let's take a quick look at the packaging and go through some of the specs. We've already talked about most of it. So this is, like I said, it's the MAG A650 BN. This is basically the same as the 550 in terms of the connectivity on it, just this is the higher wattage version. At the moment in the UK, this is retailing somewhere around the £45 mark, which makes it actually very competitive on the market. Unfortunately, power supplies, the prices have seemed to go through the roof recently, which is unfortunate. Previously, we would see these for somewhere in the range of about £35, but yeah, everything's getting more expensive, unfortunately. This also has an 80 plus bronze label on it, which is pretty good. Gives you a little bit of kind of, well, not so much security, but it gives you an idea that it has passed some testing. But if that isn't enough, it does actually come with something which is quite a massive thing. It comes with a 5-year warranty, which I think is actually very impressive considering this is designed as a kind of entry-level unit. So MSI clearly have a little bit of faith in their product, offering you that 5-year warranty. On the back of the packaging, it talks about the DC to DC circuit design and also the comprehensive circuit protection, as we've already mentioned, the fact that it's 80 plus bronze, and that 120mm low noise fan. Also, it's got the specification at the bottom there. So this is a 650 watt. So that's giving you 54 amps on the 12 volt rail. So giving you 648 watts. And it also gives out 110 watts on the +5 and +3.3 volt rails. So they could arguably have made this a 750 watt power supply if they really wanted to, but I think they've been pretty honest and pretty genuine calling it a 650. Included in the package, you get all the usual stuff. So you get a user guide telling you what the connectors are and where to put them, etc. You get the important information, which is about the warranty. You also get a set of screws for installing it into your PC case. Also included is a power cable, which isn't always a given these days, and this one is region specific. So this is a UK 3-pin plug. So yeah, happy days, ready to go straight out of the box. So let's take a closer look at the power supply itself, and something which I do appreciate is the fact that we've got this really nice mesh or grill effect over the fan. So this is actually really good for reducing turbulence. And in terms of the fan itself, 120mm is noted as a low noise sleeve bearing. And in fact, let's give you a listen to that now so you can hear what it sounds like. It's not entirely silent, but it is pretty quiet. So there you go, not very noisy at all. Over the rest of the fans in the system, realistically, you're never going to hear this. And also, if the power supply is face down, which they generally tend to be in a lot of modern cases, yeah, you're never going to hear it at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any zero fan technology. The fan does keep running all the time and will ramp up considering what the load is on the PSU itself. But for most modest systems, I think this is going to be absolutely fine. I'm actually using these in some builds I'm doing recently, which I will put linked in the video description, for some Ryzen 5 5600 systems with RX 6600s. So yeah, not going to be overly taxing, and it's going to be well within the rated wattage of these power supplies. Moving on to the sides, not a great deal to speak of, just some nice MSI branding on there. On the back, you've got some nice hexagon mesh there, and also you've got your power button and also your mains input. Also on the unit there is a MSI badge with all the ratings on, so I'll give you a close-up of that so you can check that out, but it's effectively the same as what we've already discussed. When it comes to the cabling, it's all captive, so you can't really hide any of it, but there isn't actually a great deal, and also it's all done in this really nice black cabling, which is pretty easy to cable manage. The only one that isn't really is going to be your main 24-pin power connector. So main 24-pin power connector, this also splits into a 20 for older systems, should you wish to do that. but it's also kind of locked in, so it's not going to accidentally slip off, which can be annoying on some cheaper power supplies. The cable length itself is 600mm and is also braided. Next up, we've got the EPS, or your 12 volt extra power supply for your CPU. So it says CPU on the side there. This is an 8-pin. Again, it splits into two, so 4 plus 4 if you would just need to use a 4. And this one comes in at 600mm in length. Next, we've got our PCI Express graphics, and this has a dual setup. So it has like a daisy chain on it. So you're looking at two 6+2 connections, or two 8-pin, however you decide to look at it. This one again, 600mm in length to the first connection, and then another 150mm from one connector to the other. Next up, we've got the auxiliary connectors. So these are your SATA, Molex and floppy, etc. Two cables on this. The first one, 400mm from the power supply to the first plug, which is SATA, then another 150mm to the next SATA, and then you've got 150mm to a Molex plug, and then on the end you have a floppy connector, again 150mm between those. The next cable, same deal, 400mm between the first connection and the power supply. This one has 3 SATAs, all with 150mm gaps, and the final one on the end of the cable is another Molex. So you've got 5 SATA, 2 Molex, 1 floppy, 2 PCI Express, 1 EPS and 1 24-pin. So there you go, there is a look at the MSI MAG A650 BN. At the moment, like I said, in the UK, this is pretty much going to be the go-to power supply. Obviously, with the MSI branding and also that 5-year warranty, you can put a little bit of faith into this. Again, do be mindful of what you're putting it into. So look at what your system is, what it actually needs. If you have a higher spec system, then spend more money on a higher spec power supply. But for those of you making more budget orientated systems, I think this is a cracking deal. But let me know what you think about this one in the comments section below. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. And hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.